We're going to talk about unequal party mixes using, of course, classic Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder and such, where some characters are more or less powerful than the others. This is quite evident in the classic White Wolf games between mage, vampire, werewolf, where trying to combine them and make them mesh together as equal power level can be difficult. Most believe mage is probably, you know, the most powerful. They're able to get one spell off and they can dominate the whole thing. Although werewolves will probably be considered pretty much like the La Machine of the old days or the ninja of the new. Ninja meaning the ninja blender, where they go first. They've pretty much slaughtered everything. That being the case, there can be a lot of credit given to unequal party mixes. There's an old game called Ars Magica, and in Ars Magica they had you could play a mage, you can play a consort or consort, and you forget the third level, which was the lowest. And essentially, it was basically playing a simple mortal. You could play someone that was better trained, like a guardsman or a scholar, or you could play a mage. And there was no apologies made that if you played a mage, you were more powerful than everybody else. And we used to have a great time because we'd have about 2 or 3, maybe even 4 mages in the group, and then we would make up a bunch of other players would run your own underlings for you, and we would play in this game. And the beauty of playing in unequal games is that, unlike a level-based system where everyone goes against the same creature at the same time, by playing unequal, there are those that you will encounter and be in the community that know you're unequal. So if you're a powerful, let's say everyone wants to play like a knight. So you're playing classic D&D, you've got like a paladin, you've got like a lawful good, neutral good fighter in there, maybe you've got a ranger and a cleric or something, and then you have a bunch of like 0 level, 1st level characters in there who are, the squire, the people who carry the packs, the underlings, those in training, farmers that want to go along on a crusade. And when the big bad shows up to go kill these guys, they're not going to go after the farmers. What has he got, a pitchfork or something? Whatever. Ignore that dude. I'm going to go after the big guy in the golden armor with the flaming sword first because he looks the most dangerous, which gives an opening for the orphan kid, the farmer, the scholar to run around and do things. And in a way, their greatest defense is the fact that they are ineffective. They are able to say things and do things and go places because no one expects much from them. And you can have a lot of fun with this. Another one that I did, I talked with Dave S., another subscriber and cool guy, part of the brigade and other things. We had to talk about this where I ran a game. It was a medieval Middle Eastern game where there was a young prince that was from a kingdom, and his kingdom was destroyed, completely covered over with sand, the people dead, and he was surrounded by his loyal followers. And the prince controlled everything. He was the young prince, and he was the weakest character. But all of his friends were something else. There was a shape-changing Black Panther in the group. There was a werewolf. I forget the name of the werewolf where they travel long distances. There was one vampire Assamite that was part of this one of the royal assassins, and all the other characters that were surrounding him, an astronomer, a scholar, an architect that built the great temples, his own teacher, personal bodyguard. All these individuals were around this young prince, completely loyal to the prince and wanted to see the prince placed back on the throne in the kingdom. But the prince was the main character, and the prince was the weakest character in the entire group, a simple mortal. And it didn't run as long as I would have wanted it to But it was pretty interesting to see these really powerful characters like pay tribute to this young prince, just bow down before him. He'd tell him, I don't kill that guy, and yes, yes, my lord, whatever. It was great to see it, and it allowed me to use the prince as a character to give to someone who really wants the attention and wants the spotlight, and at the same time would just never ever become a power gamer except by virtue of those that have surrounded him. So unequal party mixes, I think, are a good thing if you want to challenge yourself, and if you want to challenge yourself as a game master, to try to incorporate all of them, and to challenge yourself as a player to be in the group and say, no, you guys are 5th level, I'll play a 2nd or 3rd level character on the side who joins you guys. It makes sense. You guys did all the work, my character died, it would be unfair just to hand me all that stuff, so yeah, I'll play somebody weaker, and see how the players treat them. A lot of times we like to treat the minions and side characters and henchmen and yeomen as throwaways, but you can add a really good dimension to this. For me, it started off in Ars Magica, if anybody can find that game, but I would challenge you guys to try this. And as always, be creative. Don't be destructive, guys. Thanks.